Hello, everyone, and welcome to another free live preview of California Psychics, where we show what it's like to get a reading with our service. I am your host and moderator for today's live stream, and we are joined by a fan favorite and one of our top rated psychics here at California Psychics with Psychic Marin. How are you doing today, Marin?
Oh, well, I am wonderful. And I am sure those of you that are tuning in may be aware of the supermoon that is occurring tonight. Carson's going to tell us a little bit more about that, but doing great, embracing that energy today.
Yes, there is a full blue supermoon that is going on tonight. And here at California Psychics, we did want to celebrate and reward everybody just for being a super awesome customer with us. So this type of offer only comes once in a blue moon. If you've seen some of our social media posts, you'll see why this is such a special full moon event. And if you use this promo code right here at the bottom of your screen, Blue Moon 10 at checkout, you can receive a free $10 credit added to your California Psychics account. This is a super special offer with no purchase necessary. So if you're having any troubles redeeming this, you can go ahead and call our customer service and they can help you get this free $10 credit. Once again, this code is Blue Moon 10 and we'll be shouting it out a few times in the stream. So don't worry if you missed it, but also it will be active until tonight. So you can go ahead and rewatch this live stream as well. But if you are wanting to use this $10 credit for a one-on-one reading with Psychic Marin after seeing some of her answers today during this 1 hour live stream, make sure to also stick around because we'll be shouting out her exact schedule and the ways to reach her on California Psychics later in the live stream. Now, lastly, before we get started in terms of questions, I just want to list off some ground rules of the questions we will be able to answer today during today's 1 hour free live preview. We unfortunately are not able to answer any legal or medical questions here at California Psychics. For medical, this can include treatment questions, pregnancies, or fertility questions. And for legal, this can include court cases, custody battles, and just general court decisions. If you do ask about another person during today's live stream, please make sure you at least include their first name. This will allow Marin to connect faster and more accurately answer your question during today's live stream. But without any further ado, we can go ahead and begin answering some of the questions that are already coming in. And I see a lot of great ones that we can choose from. Marin, if you are ready to get started.
I am ready. I did want to just say a tiny bit about that super moon that we are experiencing. If you are an Aquarian, then you are in a even luckier position right now because this super moon is in the sign of Aquarius. So this is the time for big goals, big seeds that you want to plant, lots of manifestation. So when you wrap up with this live tonight, if you've got any questions, reach out to me. But please take advantage of this full moon tonight by just the bare minimum of making that wish or setting that little goal into motion. I'm sure you'll thank me for it later, but it's an energy you might want to take advantage of.
And yes, use that promo code scrolling at the bottom of your screen too. Again, a free $10 credit for your California Psychics account. But for our first question for you today, Marin, we have one regarding love from Z. She is asking, do you see somebody new coming into her life? And if so, possibly when? If you want to draw a card for Z, feel free to as well.
Okay, Z. I instantly start to get two. I see two people coming in, but the timelines that they're giving me is kind of back to back. So I'm looking at early October, and I feel like there's the first individual lasts maybe 2 weeks, and then I see the second coming in right in the middle of October. That's a relationship that I see sustaining. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I am going to do a card just to help you out with that. Okay, this is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of monotony. So if you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, like you're looking for love and you are still frustrated with the search, now's not the time to really change it up for you. I would stick to the same course of action, continue doing the same thing, but just give it that extra little window of time because early October, I think you're going to start to see some options that open up. The second week's when it's going to be something that's really worth your while.
Amazing. That's a great first answer to start off today's live stream. Our next question for you, Marin, this is actually one of our viewers from Tarot Thursday, so you may recognize Pretty Girl Rock.
Oh, of course.
Is T. So T is asking, and first of all, saying very happy to see us on a very special Monday live stream. She would like to know if what does this possible full moon, or what does this full moon bring to T in terms of, what are some general outlooks, and also the kind of the next 6 months as well in terms of love, finances, and career. And a huge thank you as well.
Thank you, Pretty Girl Rock. But one of the things that you did not mention or touch on, you covered some other areas, love, career. What I was getting kind of yelled at me is more about creativity for you. Is there a hobby that you could monetize? Is there an activity? Is there a craft or something that you are considering doing? Because for you specifically, unlike the areas that you asked about, I'm getting that this is really that time for you to develop and hone in on that craft or hobby, because what you're needing is more of that, not so much like creative outlet, but more of the meditative outlet that just happens to be through something that's creative or artistic for you. I do want to put a little like plug when I start to see the end of this year, when I'm looking at early November. Career is really peaking with a lot of stress and a lot of worry and frustration. So I just want you to know that that starts to smooth when I'm looking at early December. But as a whole, right now you are really being guided towards harnessing something that's going to be a creative outlet for you and something to do throughout the winter, because you need that ability to decompress, or an activity or something to channel that frustration and stress into. So it's time to get creative. I will mention there's a fantastic book called The Artist's Way. I don't know if any of you chiming in and watching today have read The Artist's Way, but that's a fantastic book. And there's also a workbook that helps guide you into harnessing your artistic abilities through spiritual connectivity. So hopefully that resonates. And thank you for chiming in today.
All right. And yes, thank you for joining us, T. It was great to see you. All right, Marin, our next question from you comes from YouTube, from Verena. Verena is asking, a lot has been going on, and she even has lost a friend coworker recently. She has been at a crossroad personally and professionally, and especially financially. Do you have any messages or guidance for me in order to kind of get through this and stop feeling stuck?
I don't know if this is a platform that is as instantaneous as Instagram, where I can ask questions and bounce things back and forth. If you are able to pop your age into there, let me know. Just because one of the things that I'm getting when I read you is it feels like you're at like a real turning point in terms of your identity. So you're shedding a lot of the old friendships. I guess you could consider it up leveling, like you're meeting new people, more business goals, more intelligence, more leading more from a place of intellect rather than social. So you are transitioning your whole sense of identity, your friend group, your passions, your interests. You really are going through a transformation. So the reason why I was asking about your age is because it feels to me more like it's a Saturn return, something that's right around age 28 or 56. I get a little bit on the younger side. So I'm wondering if you're around that 28 to 30 age bracket, because your whole world is changing. If that happens to be your age, and this is really something that is more of that hurdle and growth and expansion, then visit our blog, spend a little time poking around and reading about what Saturn return means for you. But I'm seeing as a whole, this is a natural part of your soul's growth, which is really challenging, because some of those old friends, like that song, make new friends, but keep the old, one's silver and the other's gold. And that's what you're experiencing. So you're going to shed some of these friendships and come into some new relationships that are really going to support you in this successful career, more monetary aspect that I'm seeing your life going in. So this is okay, but I know it can be a little emotionally concerning when it's happening rapidly, and it feels like you're just shedding a lot of the old you.
All right. And she did mention her age in there, but I think overall that was a fantastic answer, Marin. I think yes. She does say, I wish some days that or she does wish some days to be that age with this knowledge. She is around, or she's about 47. So,
40.
um,
So I don't think that the Saturn return is something that really is applying, but when I'm seeing you and who you are becoming, your whole identity is really changing. So I don't see that this is a wrong. Just an FYI for those that want to know a little bit about how I work or how I come to that conclusion is that if I start to connect with you and my screen goes blank, or there's a almost like you're headed off into the deep end, or I can feel and see that they're shutting down your path, that's kind of a way of me gathering and knowing that you're not on the right path, or we need to fine tune some things or make that adjustment. But when I start to see you and it's just more and more and more growth, it's definitely something that I perceive and interpret as a positive, because I wouldn't be getting those images if your guides were trying to say stop and put on the brakes and redirect your life course. So maybe it's just you catching up and getting to be at a place where you are really confident in your sense of self, but it all feels really great.
all right. And hopefully this did resonate with you, Verena. That was a great answer, Marin, and I think she will appreciate that. Also saying a thank you from T, the last person we answered, just saying happy blue moon and a thank you for the continued love and guidance. So, and also just thank you everybody for stopping by. Our next question for you, Marin, is from Randy. Randy is asking, she would love to hear about a potential for a second and in quotations, successful marriage on the horizon. Is there anything coming up, or a new person from her past, or a new person or somebody from her past going to be that person for marriage?
Okay, that I'm taking just an extra second, and you might notice I close my eyes a lot just to filter some distractions and go within a little bit more, because your guides, what they're showing me is I'm getting a little bit of a back and forth. And so that shows me that there is somebody from your past, since you did mention this. I will clarify, especially late November, early December. I really see you trying to make a run of this. But it's just a relationship that I can summarize by saying it appears like you've outgrown this. So I feel like it's going to be a better tool for you to see how much you've actually grown, and rather than trying to force this relationship because of that nostalgia and that chemistry, to realize that we might just be better off as friends, and that you can learn a little bit more about how much you've really grown, the requirements that you have to be in a successful relationship. Because I'm getting many months. Actually, it feels like it's closer to early August, almost right about a year from right now. I just think that there's going to be a few options early spring, but you kind of burn out a little bit. So don't be surprised if from late March, April, early April, it's pretty flat for you. And then all of a sudden, August, this relationship that develops, that's through an introduction from a mutual friend. So I think that you are going to be pretty happy by the end of this year, but just don't hang on to that too long, because there's something better that's coming in early August for you next year.
All right. And we hope this did resonate with you, Randy. That sounded like a really good answer. And we hope, yes, this did satisfy you as a good answer. I did want to just take a pause real quick, because I wanted to shout out once again the blue moon, the full blue super moon. There's 3 different aspects to it. It's the full moon, the blue moon, and the super moon, which is why it is such a rare event, and why we want to promote this super special offer to reward all of our California Psychics users. If you use that code Blue Moon 10 scrolling at the bottom of your screen, you can receive a free $10 credit added to your California Psychics account that you can use for your next reading with no purchase necessary. You can go ahead and add that $10 credit and save it for a little bit later if you'd like. If you're having any troubles redeeming as well, you can go ahead and call our customer care line and say, I want to redeem that code Blue Moon 10 from the Facebook and YouTube live, and they will be able to get that sorted for you. Marin, you've been giving out some very fantastic answers to start off today's free live preview live stream today. Can you go ahead and shout out your exact schedule and the very next time you're going to be available on CaliforniaPsychics.com and the California Psychics app for those who want to get that one-on-one reading experience with you away from the live and just really down to business on what they need to know?
Yeah, of course, Carson. Thank you. I will be on this evening following this live. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, give me about a half hour, and then I will be on all evening tonight, all evening tomorrow night. And then for the remainder of the week, what I do for my schedule and all the different time zones is I work a nice chunk in the afternoon, and then I also work a block of hours in the evening to accommodate everybody. Just very different energies. Sometimes those afternoon calls, I get calls from people on their lunch break that have a business matter that just blew up in their face and they want somebody to talk to. And I work really fast during those lunch breaks. And then sometimes in the evening, somebody wants to unwind and spend a little bit more time in a calmer setting, being able to have that reading in the privacy of their own home. So I just find that there's a very different energy with the clients, and I love a little bit of both. So that's why I do some afternoons and evenings.
Exactly. We're very adaptable here at California Psychics. And so whatever the type of setting or reading you were trying to look for, we can try our best to give that to you. And Marin is one of our best and fan favorites. If you are looking to book with her as well, you can click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now, and that will pull up her page or profile page on CaliforniaPsychics.com, where you can hop right into her call queue or book an appointment to get a reading with her. Now, once again, I want to shout out this code, that Blue Moon 10 code. This is a special promotional code that is active only for our live stream. It will be active later tonight, but it is separate and very unique, unique to this live stream. So I just want to very much shout it out and want to make sure everybody is using that Blue Moon 10 code for a free $10 credit added to your California Psychics account. We have a few other codes on our social media pages. This one is different, so go ahead and get that free $10. Our next question for you, Marin, now that we're going back into our free live preview, is from Linda. Linda is saying, "Greetings, Marin. Can you please tell me what the universe is suggesting that Linda do with all the clashes that she is facing right now involving her work, family, love life?"
Well, the message that was just pretty loud and clear was slowing down. And I think that, we can all benefit from that advice. But for you, it just felt like when I slipped into your energy and started to feel I am so discombobulated and I'm being pulled in this direction, in this direction, in this direction. And so it feels like you were one of those people that is just in a stage where you're flying by the seat of your pants. And so everything is less engaged. There's kind of this disconnect in your energy, feeling like it's spread really thin. And so there's less of a sense of confidence in how you're putting forth that time and what you're doing and decisions that you're making. And so it's kind of this spiraled energy that I feel. How can you slow down? How can you really start to minimize those obligations? Do you really need to have that dinner date or that lunch date with a girlfriend? Could you postpone that for a couple weeks just to take that extra little time that you do have to find that quiet time, find that solitude, go for a night walk? I don't know, if I don't get the vibe that I really see you journaling or book reading, but something to really quiet that mind and still that mind so you feel like you can continue operating at that pace, because this is going to continue for you very, very intensely for about 2 more weeks. But unfortunately, overall, it feels like this is kind of a mild transition that will wrap up by early January, right after the new year. So buckle up, because this is going to be several months. So I want you to have some tools to to learn how to cope with this frazzling energy. But more immediately, you've got 2 real heavy weeks and it starts to simmer down just a little bit. But try to find a mindfulness practice for you to be able to unwind, to just get you through that. I know it sounds easier than it actually is, sounds kind of airy fairy, but it works. And this is even scientifically proven. If you do the research and look out there, you really want to find something to help still that mind and reharness that fragmented energy.
All right. And we hope this did resonate with you, Linda. And we also want to thank you for stopping by today. Our next question for you, Marin, will be from Jennifer. Jennifer is asking 2 questions. One related to love, asking, will Jason be calling Jennifer soon? And for her second question regarding her career, will she be getting remote work in September? Also, thank you.
You're welcome. I keep going backwards trying to capture his energy, and it just feels like there's so much frustration. It's kind of borderlining a little bit of disrespect, and I think that you're going to get to a point by the end of this month where you feel, especially around the 23rd, 24th, where you just feel like I'm done. And then all of a sudden I see a little bit of contact at the end of the month, but it feels more like it's just very self-serving or very unaware of your frustrations. It's like a very quick reach out. Hey, what are you up to? Wants to see you, and then is planning on just disappearing again. So I'm seeing this being more of a cycle of frustration for you, whether or not you actually want to meet up at the end of this month and continue to put energy into this relationship. I think that it's going to ultimately make you feel like it's just kind of a wasted energy because it's not reciprocated. I definitely don't want to disappoint you, but I really feel like your frustration is going to remain despite you having that connection or that reach out that you were hoping to get. You will get it, but just keep in mind what I've had to say about the situation. And your other question, there was a second question, Carson, other than the relationship, there was something else?
It was regards to career, if there's any insight into her getting a remote job in September.
That's what it was. I'm really drawn towards the East Coast the minute you start to ask that. And so I feel like there's I'm wondering if you're working on a contract basis because they keep using the word contract, but I am seeing something that is on the East Coast for you by the end of September. That's secure. That's something that I'm seeing like 6 months at that point, then you're renegotiating. So I feel like there definitely is that remote work, but it just feels like it's not as secure as you want, but it's financially pretty lucrative. So I say go for it. But the timing looks like it's later in September when that's all signed and you are contractually in that relationship.
All right. Our next question for you, Marin, and also Jennifer, we want to thank you for stopping by today, is from Catherine. Catherine is asking, will James and Catherine be together this week? And I'm assuming in terms of love.
Give me 1 second. As I'm just, man, if it was the following, I kept getting something about the following. I felt like I wanted to say the following weekend. So I'm really checking in on my timing with this. James, give me 1 second. I want to say no, because usually what happens if it's a yes, I don't get fumbled like this. I don't get I don't struggle to get the answer, and I don't fumble. I feel like, yes, you will see each other, but I can't confirm that it's this weekend coming up. It feels like it's likely the following weekend or like right before. I still see you happy about this, but I can't confirm or validate that it's going to be this weekend because it normally is a very clear yes. And I think that there's going to be a plan, or that you were expecting that you're going to see each other, and then something happens at the last minute that's going to change those plans or that's going to break that commitment. So even if you might be thinking up until the night before that you guys are going to be together, I would still tread lightly with this because I think that there's going to be a glitch that ends up postponing this for a later time.
All right. Our next, Catherine, I wanted to say we hope this did resonate with you, and we did also want to thank you for stopping by as well. Our next question for you, Marin, is from Sarah. Sarah from YouTube is asking about insight into her roommate situation. Could you see if she's going to be finding a new roommate soon, and possibly when will that be? And also, can you possibly give any insight on what this person might end up being like?
First of all, my number one guide is Sarah. So I have a affinity towards the name Sarah because it just holds a special place in my heart. But I'm a little perplexed because I keep seeing 3 people. So I'm curious if there's a total of 2 people already and you're trying to add the third, or if there are, I think it's an individual that's coming in that is likely to have another person with them quite frequently. And I just keep getting an image of 3 people. And so it looks like slightly a little bit more immature, but a lot of fun. And so the emphasis that I'm getting looks like through this connection and this friendship that develops, you find out about a lot of the activities. There's some sort of position or involvement with like, I want to say like education or college or high school or employee at a high school or college. And so it feels like they're surrounded by youth and that they have a younger vibe and that they really are into like, what's going on? What are the events? Is there a street fair? Is there a new theater event that's come to town? But like it kind of brings you out of your shell a little bit, and there's a lot of activity and fun. So it develops into a nice friendship, even though it feels like there might be a little bit more of an age difference or a little bit of immaturity, but a lot of fun. And most importantly, trustworthy. You don't have to worry about your belongings. You don't have to worry about any sneaky stuff. So I feel like if you're questioning and looking at candidates and you see somebody that just feels like, they might be a little young, are they responsible, very youthful spirit, and very trustworthy. So I think it's going to be a good fit.
All right. Now we hope this did resonate with you, Sarah. And yes, hopefully your roommate situation is alleviated soon. And hopefully you'll have a very good friend for a while as well. I just want to take a pause to real quick shout out the best ways to reach Psychic Marin, and that is through CaliforniaPsychics.com or our California Psychics app. Now you can hop right into Marin's call queue by clicking the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now. It will pull up Marin's profile page on CaliforniaPsychics.com, where you can hop right into her call queue or book an appointment. Marin, since you know it so well and say it so well, can you go ahead and shout out your exact schedule and the very next time you're going to be available for a one-on-one reading experience on CaliforniaPsychics.com?
Yes, sir. I am going to be on this evening, and I will be on tomorrow evening as well. And then for the remainder of the week, I have some afternoon and evening time slots. I typically break up my schedule to accommodate all the time zones and just really make myself available to you. And I'll take a day off here or there. I was off for a few days. I was doing some projects for California Psychics. Stand by because we've got some fun stuff coming out. But I am typically at least 5-6 days a week. I typically work. So you'll always be able to find me, or you can schedule an appointment if you want that phone call right at the top of the hour. If you've got a busy schedule and you don't want to get in my queue and wait, contact customer service, or you can book an appointment directly online.
All right. Now, one last piece of information. I want to shout out once again that Blue Moon 10 code, because if you are a California Psychics user, you can use that code Blue Moon 10 to get a free $10 credit that you can use towards your next reading. But if you want to save it for later, there is no purchase necessary whenever you redeem that promo code. So if you go to checkout and use that code scrolling at the bottom of your screen, Blue Moon 10, you can get a free $10 credit added to your California Psychics account. This is an offer that comes around once in a blue moon because of the full blue supermoon event. So make sure you take advantage. We have a few other offers on our social media pages, but this one is special and unique for today's live stream. So make sure you use that code Blue Moon 10 once again. Our next question for you, Marin, now that we're hopping right back into our free live preview of California Psychics, is from Alicia. Alicia's 40th birthday is this Friday on the 23rd. Make sure you quickly have a birthday card reading to see how that will go.
Okay, so you are an Aquarian and you are somebody that fits into that space that we are blessed by right now with this supermoon. And typically that Aquarian energy we know to be that spontaneous, creative, excited, free thinking, sometimes outside the box, or sometimes a little controversial. You push the envelope with big goals and big dreams. But because of this supermoon that we have tonight, and this alignment with your birthday, this is a great time to, when you blow out that candle and make that wish, to really dream big. And the supermoon, one of the reasons why it's called a supermoon is because as it appears when it rises and along the horizon line, it's going to be gigantic. And so stop what you're doing. If you're driving home, pull over off the side of the road and just give a nod to that beautiful moon as it's rising, because it's going to look huge. And when you are blowing out that birthday candle, make sure that you are aware of that energy. It's usually good 3 days before the full moon, 3 days after. That's the typical time frame in which that energy is still something that you can harness and work with. So if you've got the birthday coming up, I would still blow out that candle with that intention of that moon. But my read, when I start to see you more intuitively, and what I'm getting is that you aren't giving yourself that permission to dream. And so one of the things about manifestation is it just doesn't work in the way where you dream from a sense of, I really, really hope, like, gosh, it'd be wonderful to be able to buy this dream home, and I hope it works out. When you manifest, it has to be, this is my home. It has to be done in absolutes. And so when I'm reading you, there is a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of tug of war energy that I feel that is very humble. But when it comes to manifesting in dreams, I'm not getting that sense of certainty and that drive and that sense of, I am making this happen and I am not leaving any space for the alternative. And I had this great quote that I saw the other day that says, imagine the life you want and then say no to everything else. And I leave you with that because I really want you to use this birthday wish as an opportunity for you to really, really dream big, knowing that it's going to happen, and eliminating those hesitations and those reservations that I feel when I start to connect with you. Because I think you're very kind, you're humble, but when it comes to dreaming and manifesting, we just have to adjust that and work a little bit differently and save the humble goodness for your character and your day-to-day nurturing and friendships. But when it comes to manifesting, be a little bit more decisive. And I hope that your dreams come true.
All right. That was a fantastic answer, Marin. And we really hope you have a great birthday, Alicia. And thank you for stopping by today. Our next question for you, and actually right before we get into Brittany's question, I saw a note about the Blue Moon 10 code possibly not working. Just want to shout out, maybe ensuring to use all capital letters whenever you are redeeming the code. And if you are having any troubles whatsoever redeeming, still, you can go ahead and call or chat, just text chat with our customer service, and they will be able to get that code redeemed for you. Because we do want to reward you for today's, I guess, yes, the very special supermoon. I can't get it across enough, and that's why I'm getting a little flustered, just because I really want to make sure that y'all get that free $10 credit. So if you are having any trouble whatsoever, go ahead and call our customer service as well. Brittany's question for you, Marin, is, does Brian see himself marrying Brittany? Will
Yes.
Brittany be having to ask for it? And if so, what year do you see this marriage happening?
Um, okay. I know you don't have to ask for it. And in fact, I would suggest that you don't, because there's a huge sense of pride and being able to financially surprise you and afford what he believes marriage is going to be and what it's going to cost. And so there's all this emotion that I start to feel about security, and that I'm not even able to buy this incredible ring that you deserve. And so there's a plan that you're not aware of. When I start to see the very end of this year, let's just say, I don't want to give away surprises, but let's just say that by February, you are a happy woman. You are happily engaged. But when I start to look at the actual wedding and the funding and affordability and home and transitioning into all of that good stuff, it kind of delays the planning. Originally, I see you planning for a late summer, early fall wedding, and I think you're going to drive yourself mad trying to rush. So before you secure that date, keep in mind that it would probably be a lot better if you kicked it over into early 2026. I know that's not what you want to hear, but you could rush it and make it happen towards the end of 2025, because that's what I see you initially planning to do. So, the budget is really what the issue is, not the love for you, not the commitment, but wanting to do it in a certain way. And I would just give him that, so he feels like he can really wow you, and then move forward with the planning after next year, after the beginning of next year.
Amazing. Now, Brittany, we really hope this resonated with you, and we do hope it works out for you as well. So definitely keep us updated. Now, real quick, I want to mention that here in a few minutes, we will be switching over to our card pull section of the live stream. Now, for that last 15 minutes, we like to switch over to card pulls just to get through questions a little bit faster and give everybody a little bit of an extra opportunity to get their question answered today, especially since we have a lot of questions still coming in, and they are really good ones, and I want to have as many as we possibly can. But I also want to make sure that y'all are getting a free $10 on our California Psychics service. So make sure you use that code BlueMoon10. It is unique to our live stream. We do have another promo code on our Facebook and Instagram pages. This one is separate, so you can actually go ahead and use both. But I really want to make sure that y'all are taking advantage. So our next question for you, Marin, is from Holly. Holly is asking, will Holly and Elton, their marriage, will it be getting better?
It's eventually, yes. By about May of next year, I feel like you two have really turned a corner. But I would describe what the remainder of this year is going to feel like is by early September, mid-September, you kind of just, you start to let go. And so your approach to the relationship feels like, I'm just kind of go more within, and you're telling me, well, I'm already doing that. But this is even more withdrawn, more within, more alone time, maybe an independent trip that you're taking by yourself. Really trying to see the relationship more from an outsider looking in, rather than how you're feeling about everything. You're kind of emotionally just disconnecting. I see the end of the year carrying you through holiday time and end of year, and it's a little more superficial at that point. You just are getting through the holidays kind of with a plastic smile on your face and trying to get through this. And then right after the beginning of the year, there's a real fear with both of you of, we got to figure this out. And now I'm actually seeing the mutual effort that I'm not seeing right now. It's more of an avoidant approach, but there's a little bit more fear right after the beginning of the new year. And having seen your independence and how detached you are, that's what starts to really shake things up in a good way, where the communication starts to develop. So let's give it till early January into February, when all of this really starts to be addressed and dissected in a good way. And it's going to take about 4 or 5 months. By May, it feels like you guys have a really nice, fresh start, a little fragile, but I definitely see this working out. Yeah.
Right. Holly, we want to thank you for stopping by today, and we hope this did resonate with you. Alicia also was saying thank you, Marin, for the birthday wishes, and also that she loves stopping by to our live streams. And yes, thank you for stopping by, Alicia. We love seeing you as well. Our next question is from Mary Ann, and you may recognize Mary Ann Marin. She is missing John a little much lately. It's been about 13 years. Marin, she loves that you were there for me then. Can you possibly pass on if he has any messages for Marianne today?
You know what? My immediate connection and feel is that he's not hovering as close. And sometimes I know you really feel him. And so the fact that he's not as close doesn't feel like there's as much concern about you or your well-being. I feel like he's a little more distant, kind of giving you that space. I know you've been developing some new relationships, but he's really kind of stepped back at a position of letting you continue to explore and grow. I think that there's also a feeling of like, gosh, I do sense the heartache, or I do feel the emotion, and so I'm trying to give you your space so you can work through that, and also not have my heart hurt because of what I'm seeing and seeing your struggles. So it's just a lovely connection. And yes, you are one of the clients and friends that have been with me for many, many years. And I know that he has been there for all of these years throughout our readings. And I think he will continue to be with you for pretty much the remainder of your journey. So try to understand right now that he might not be hovering, because you're actually in a good place, even though some days it might not feel like that.
Marianne, we want to thank you for stopping by today. And we really, we really appreciate you stopping by and seeing Marin. And thank you also. I did also want to just shout out, now that we are going to be switching over to our card pull section, where you can go ahead and ask your question in terms of, hey, I want a general card pull, career, love, finances. You can also pair a little bit of a question along with it to give Marin some context if you like. But while we have those questions coming in, I want to go ahead and shout out once again that super moon, that full blue super moon code. If you use that code Blue Moon 10 scrolling at the bottom of your screen, you can receive a $10 credit added to your California Psychics account for free with no purchase necessary. So you can go ahead and use that $10 credit at a different time if you'd like. But I see a lot of viewers in today's live stream, so I want to see an equal amount of redemptions, because this is $10 that you can use for your next reading. And why not use it for your next reading with Psychic Marin, after she's been giving out some fantastic answers today, and we still have about 15-ish minutes left. Marin, can you go ahead and shout out your exact schedule on CaliforniaPsychics.com, and the very next time people are going to be able to reach you on CaliforniaPsychics.com for that one-on-one reading experience away from the live, and possibly if they had any follow-up questions from their answers today?
I will be on in about an hour throughout the evening, and then tomorrow evening as well. For the remainder of the week, I have afternoon and some evening slots. I break it up. And usually I'm on every day, every other day, but typically about 25 to 30 hours a week. So I am available. And if for some reason you are an early bird, or I am never available at 9 a.m. and you want to get to me, call customer service. They can shoot me a message, and I can make a special accommodation and put a little time slot in there for you if you have a time restriction. So just reach out.
All right. Now, we just got a note that there might be a little bit of issues redeeming that Blue Moon 10 code. And it looks like this is exclusive to our app. So if you are trying to redeem that code on our app, you could go ahead you can go ahead and redeem that code on our website. However, we are pushing out a hot fix right now. So hopefully, if you are still wanting to do that on the app, you can do so later. If you are having any troubles redeeming whatsoever as well, you could go ahead and call our customer care line, and they will be able to get that Blue Moon 10 code redeemed for you for that free $10 credit. And also, if you're having any troubles booking with any of our psychics, like Psychic Marin, you can also call our customer care line and they will be able to get you set up with an appointment. Our customer care line is amazing at California Psychics, so call them for any questions that you need regarding getting a reading here at California Psychics. All right, Marin, to our general card pull section. Shelly is starting us off with just a general card pull. If there are any messages drawn to Shelly.
Okay, Shelly, general card for you is the Fool. This is the 0 card. This is the first card in the tarot. This is the Fool's journey. And the Fool is somebody that is so focused, their head's in the clouds. They're not even aware that they are about ready to walk off this cliff. We've got this little spirit guide trying to warn you down below. And so the message of this card is just don't be the fool right now. Have a plan. Make a goal. Really do this before you execute so you don't have to undo and redo. And especially right now, because we are in a Mercury retrograde as well as this supermoon. So Mercury retrogrades often mean that you have to revise your plans or redo something. So this card pairs very well with that message of don't execute before you really have that solid plan. And you can be carefree, but just don't be foolish.
All right. Next question for you comes from Amber. Amber is asking for just a love card, please.
Love card is the Knight of Swords, and this energy is that of go, 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 go. The Knights, we've talked a lot about this on the Tarot Thursdays. There's a difference in how you read the Knights. And this Knight, we can see that very fierce energy. The horse is giddy up, rearing to go. And that means that this is happening fast. The Knight is the suit of swords, which is intelligence. So what are you doing or embarking on, or perhaps in a relationship with, whatever the basis of the question was, what are you doing that is requiring mental activity that you can't sit around? You need to go now. You need to strike it while it's hot. This is a card of action. And then the message for you is go for it, execute, and do it with logic and sense, common sense. And it will be a successful outcome.
Amazing. Our next one is from Krista. Krista is asking for a general card. Her birthday is also on Friday, just like our earlier viewer, Alicia.
Okay, well, happy birthday. This is a card that might have a little bit of a heavier energy. This is actually the 2 of Swords. However, it is in a reverse position. And what this indicates is that you are very slowly learning to take off that blindfold, eliminate that wall, that boundary of your protectedness. So has there been an experience recently where you've needed to blindfold yourself, you've needed to shut down to persevere for the sake of just healing and growth? So what your guides are showing you is now it's time to eliminate that blindfold, eliminate the boundary, so you can start to see clearly again. So you can start to move forward instead of being in a state of fear or being kind of stuck. So the positive message in this, it's a much better position, the fact that it is reversed, because it's showing that you are coming out of this phase of really feeling stuck. So happy early birthday to you. Take advantage of this message and this energy that you are growing, you're healing, and it's time for you to open those eyes and see where your next destination, where life's taking you without you being in a state of fear.
All right. Thank you, Krista, for stopping by, and also happy early birthday as well. Our next question for you, Marin, is from Timrika, who is asking for a love card as well.
We've got some heavier cards. This is the Hangman. This is a little bit more of that similar energy of you just being stuck. In this position, we have the Hangman, who is hanging with his hands bound behind him. And all this enlightenment, all this intuition is unfortunately just kind of draining out from his crown chakra, from his head, instead of being harnessed and used. And so are you feeling like you are the hangman? Are you feeling like you are stuck in love? Does the relationship that you're in feel stuck? Are you just not happy in partnerships or dating? So this feels like it's not an energy that's diminishing like that previous card that we had. This is something where your guides are saying, this is you. You're knee deep in it right now. So what do you want to do differently to get yourself unstuck and to prevent you from continuing to just hang and let all this energy keep draining and draining? Now's the time to really change some things for you so you don't continue to feel this way.
Right. Now we still have a few more minutes to answer a few more questions, but I did want to shout out very quickly. Once again, this blue moon the full blue super moon code that we have going on for today's live stream. If you use that code Blue Moon 10 scrolling at the bottom of your screen at checkout, you can receive a $10 credit added to your California Psychics account. We do have other promotions on our social media pages right now. This one is separate, so you can go ahead and use both. But I would love to make sure that everybody who is a California Psychics user can get that $10 credit. So go ahead and use that code Blue Moon 10. Marin, can you go ahead and shout out your hours and the very next time you were going to be online for those who want to use that $10 credit for a reading with you?
Yes. Well, you all can join me tonight during this full moon's energy, and we can talk out your issues and I can help you manifest your dreams. This is about an hour break that I'm going to take right after we wrap up. And then I'll be on throughout the evening, tomorrow evening as well. And then I'm going to break up my hours the remainder of the week. And I have some hours in the afternoon and evening as well.
All right. And it looks like we've already got some people using the code as well. So yes, get that $10 credit and use it for your next reading for a one-on-one or your next one-on-one reading experience with Psychic Marin. You can also go ahead and click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now, and that will pull up Psychic Marin's profile. So you can go ahead and get a reading with her. Our next one is for Chandel, who is asking for a love card, please, Marin.
You got the holy grail of the love cards. This is the Lovers. And as you can see, these figures really kind of have a nod to Adam and Eve, meaning that it's a sacred partnership. This is a relationship that's spiritually blessed. We've got the archangel above that's blessing the two of you. And so this is one of like 3 or 4 cards within the tarot that just scream soulmate. That's not really a term I often use, but it speaks for what this represents. So this is that type of partnership that everybody dreams of, and you are fortunate enough to be receiving. So Lover's card, it is for you today.
All right, Chandel, we hope this resonated with you, and we really hope that this resonates. Or I think I said that anyways, but go ahead and keep us updated as well, because we definitely want to know about your love journey and all the success that you'll have. Our next,
I keep getting a time. They want me to say late November. There's something about a question that I keep wanting to say late November. So this energy is associated with the timeline of late November.
All right. We hope that message as well resonated with you, Chandel. She's also saying thank you. Our next question for you, Marin, is going to be from Christina, who was asking for a love card. There's another one, but unfortunately, as we were winding down, we want to just get one in.
Okay. Oh, you got 2. Oh my gosh. And I'm chuckling because
there we go. So the other one was for a financial card reading.
Oh, you guys. Okay. Earlier, when I had said about the Lover's card, I said, well, you've got the holy grail of love. Well, this actually is the holy grail card. And so we're going to break this down in the 2 different areas. She was asking for love and finances or career, monetary aspects. So we're going to break these down. We've got the holy grail, which is the Ace of Cups. The cups is a suit of water and emotion. So what this means is that your love is just overflowing. There's so much abundance in the sense of love. It's also the card of the divine hand from the heavens, or God, if you will, reaching out saying, you are getting this holy grail of love just right here, blessings, and all of these streams of senses and consciousness pouring out. So this is an excellent card. Sometimes because of this ace, it could mean that it's a new relationship or a new start to a relationship. But as a whole, this is a very positive card, Ace of Cups. And then the other card was the 10 of Pentacles. And this card is legacy money. This is inheritance money. This is sometimes seen as kind of an inheritance out of the blue that might not be expected, or more of a windfall of money. But this is the 10 of Pentacles. This is that final card until we get into the court cards, the pages, the kings. So this is kind of that sense of completion or achieving that goal. So if you've got a career goal, if you've got a financial goal, this would be a success in that situation. But I do feel like you kind of, despite us maybe not having a lot of time, Spirit said otherwise, and you got the 2 questions answered anyways. 10 of Pentacles and Ace of Cups.
All right. Now we still have a few minutes for a couple more questions. Christina also saying thank you as well. Andrea is asking for a general card pull, Marin.
All right. I have the general card pull for you, which is the High Priestess, one of my favorite cards, because the High Priestess, her dress is what flows throughout the entire tarot, meaning that she's kind of blessing with this intuition, blessing with the water and the healing energy. So the High Priestess is somebody who is divine. I often am associated, or sometimes people will, if I was a tarot card, this is something that I've identified with before, because the Torah, this little scroll that we see tucked under her arm, is spiritual knowledge or spiritual law. And so this is somebody that has that spiritual law knowledge tucked under their arm. They're not forcing it or cramming it down somebody's face, but they have that knowledge. They're armed with their knowledge. And if you approach them, you can benefit from that knowledge as well. So it makes me question, are you an intuitive? Are you destined to be able to help people? Are you somebody that has that spiritual knowledge that wants to share it with others and help and heal others? Because this card feels more like it's a significator card for you as well, or something that you are being called to do, or an identity that you might want to embrace a little bit more so. So again, it's the High Priestess.
All right. Now, Marin, can you go ahead and shout out one more time, right before we answer a couple more questions, your exact schedule and the very next time you're going to be available on CaliforniaPsychics.com and the California Psychics app?
Yes, I will be on in about an hour, harnessing this full moon energy for all of you. I will be on again tomorrow night, and the remainder of the week I have afternoon and evening hours sprinkled throughout. And I usually work at least every day, every other day. I'm not gone too long. So find me online or book an appointment if you want to be called at the top of the hour for a more convenient reading instead of having to wait in my queue.
All right. Now, our next question is from Daniel, who is asking for a career card. And actually, Marin, I just want to shout out once again that Blue Moon 10 code. We want to thank everybody for joining our free live preview of today's California Psychics. Today's live stream, our free live preview of California Psychics, that Blue Moon 10 code. Get a free $10 credit added to your California Psychics account. And I really, really want to reward our customers. So I just really, really want to make sure that you are getting that free $10 credit that you can use for your next reading. Daniel's question for you, Marin, was a career card regarding starting a business.
Okay, this is the card of boundaries. And so what are you going through right now? Which means that you've got to really stand your ground. All these little wands, all these little people kind of jabbing at you and poking at you, and you might feel a little chaotic, but you are really going to have to stand your ground. I feel like there's a sense of you having knowledge, believing in yourself, but now it's being really challenged. And so the message for you today is continue to stand your ground and not really compromise, which is sometimes hard to do, especially if you've got some others involved that are mentoring or helping. But now's the time for you to really stick to your belief system and stand that ground for you to be successful in these endeavors. So take a peek online at the blog, Seven of Wands, if you want to learn a little bit more about it. But this is you. This is you defending your territory.
All right. Andrea also saying thank you from her High Priestess card reading. She has a strong intuition, which she used to be more disconnected from, but so this did resonate. But we have ended up winding down to the last bit of our live stream today, and we've had so many great questions answered today. We tried to get through as many as we possibly could during this 1 hour free live preview of California Psychics, but we did want to reward everybody just for attending. So if you use that code Blue Moon 10, you can receive that $10 credit added to your California Psychics account with no purchase necessary. Get a free $10 for your next reading. And why not use it for your next reading with Psychic Marin? Marin, can you very quickly just shout out the next time that you're going to be online at California Psychics?
In just an hour, I'll be on all evening tonight, again tomorrow night, and afternoon and evenings the remainder of the week from Wednesday on. So come spend some time with me and let's get your questions answered.
All right. Now, we tried to answer as many questions as we possibly could during today's 1 hour live stream, but we will be back next week at the same times for another free live preview of California Psychics. But until then, go ahead and get your reading with Psychic Marin. Go ahead and click the link in the description, and you can go ahead and pull up Psychic Marin's profile on California Psychics, as well as the ability to book an appointment right with her. Thank you, everybody, once again for joining. And until next time, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.